was having a bit of a radiator issue, well, a whole cooling issue. So Greg Judy recommended a friend, and then I ran over to get it checked, and now I have to get the one of the hoses fixed and the radiator replaced. It's dripping at the bottom. They're gonna do it today, so I'll be way late a couple hours. Then if it's before 5, I'll still swing by the Grand Lodge of Missouri, which is over in Columbia. It's about a half-hour away. And then from there, I'll start heading west to Kansas City. Disappointing. Thankfully, it was they were able to find a cheaper radiator. It's an $800 job. Otherwise, if they weren't able to find another radiator in town, it would have been like $1,000. It sucks because, I mean, really, the mechanic who inspected it should have noticed this. It's leaking in 2 spots. I mean, I can understand not seeing the hose. That one only leaked 1 time while I was using it, but the radiator leaking at the bottom, really should have known about that. And none of it showed up with the OBD scanner. Really, it had to have, I forget the name of it, but there's a pressure pump you hook up to the radiator, and you pump it and it tells you the PSI, and I was losing, he said 7 PSI was lost, and it should be at 14. So I'll check in with you later, but that's where I'm still in Columbia. Well, I am taking off from R&S Auto, and these guys were amazing. Got my car done. I got here at about 8:30 in the morning. It's 2:30 now and I'm leaving, and I have a new radiator, a new 3-part hose. Thankfully the thermostat did not also need to be fixed, and they topped me off with oil. Absolutely quality work. I don't even have to test it out. They took it for a test drive. They rinsed the car off before having me leave. They bought me lunch. I mean, and instead of just getting the first radiator they heard of, the guy called and said, that price is too high for you. Let me see what I can do. If you have the time, let me call around for 20 minutes.
Take the second left onto Missouri 22 West.
And he did, and he found me a radiator that was almost $200 cheaper. So if you go out to see Greg Judy and you drive and you need any work done, go to R&S. Cannot possibly give a better recommendation. I'm in Columbia, Missouri at the Grand Lodge. And, well, I came out today knowing, they said just stop through any time, let me know when you're here. They have a museum and everything, but no one is here today. It turns out they celebrate Truman's birthday, and it's today, May 9th, so they are locked up. So I'm just gonna hit the road and head straight to Kansas City, and then from there, Topeka. But it's a really beautiful campus, and well, the lawn maintenance guys were nice. All right, I am just checking in. So, driving straight to Kansas City to make a stop. I won't be stopping there for long because our stop is closed. And why is it closed? After not advertising that all week after I planned this trip? Because it's President Truman's birthday. Turns out that is why the Masonic Lodge was also closed. I don't know, is this like this in every state that has had a president? They close everything on their president's birthday?
Hell no.
So basically, I haven't really been able to do much since I've been out here because I was in classes until pretty much Saturday. And then you had Mother's Day, and it's a Sunday in Missouri. A lot of places aren't open. And now today, Monday. But I've filled up. I'm going to head to Topeka, maybe clean the truck when I get there. That would really suck. Anyway, it is what it is. Heading to Topeka. Should be there in about, no, Kansas City, sorry. 2 hours to Kansas City, and then another hour 45 after that to Topeka.
Along the way, I ended up stopping at a spa for an hour and a few roadside attractions.
I guess this is downtown Kansas City? Yeah. What does it remind me of? Rhode Island? Philly? Not Philly. What was I gonna say? Not Baltimore. I don't know.
I had dinner at a place called Jack Stack Barbecue. At the time, I had no idea it was a chain. The place was ginormous. They sat me off by myself because I was the only person out of about 200 wearing a mask. Anyway, the place was beautiful, and I had some really awesome food. I ended up getting the lamb ribs. This picture shows tons of ribs. You can see how small they are next to the fork. These lasted me 3 days because they were just so incredibly rich, but I want to try lamb ribs again.
All right, we just crossed over into Kansas from Kansas City. So we're in Kansas City, Kansas, not Kansas City, Missouri. I actually considered staying here tonight and possibly scrapping Topeka because then I'd still be in Kansas. And I found a couple extra cool things to do here in Kansas City, Missouri tonight. However, hotels were wicked crazy. And then while I was looking for like budget places in Topeka, I forgot about the motor. What is it? The motor fruit. There's 2 racing places near the hotel where I'm staying. So I am gonna go check those out, which is cool. And I gotta be a little frugal because not that driving in that direction adds to the reduces the frugalness when you're wasting all that gas, but I did pretty much today drop $1,000 that I hadn't planned on dropping because I spent almost $900 on the radiator and the cracked hose. Where the hose cracked was behind the hose, so I did not see it, and that's where I was losing pressure. And that's why the other day I was driving and all of a sudden sensor went off like crazy, fluid got expelled and I didn't know how, and it was because that heat just forced it open. Sorry again, these shitty hands-free devices. That's it. I'm just gonna crash in Topeka, wake up early, do a couple things, head back to Kansas, check out the Negro Baseball League Museum, and a jazz venue, and something else. And then I might drive late night to St. Louis. I don't know if I'm going to do that or hang in Kansas City again. We'll see. I'm about 10 minutes from the hotel in Topeka, and I saw this random on the side of the highway car wash. It's, oh geez, I thought my window was open. It's, I guess 11 o'clock at night? No, 10:45. That stretch wasn't bad. It was like a little over an hour from Kansas City to Topeka. The problem is, I thought 40 was, you know, it's 40. And I thought it would be better looking. I would have some stuff to see. Instead, I got thrown on 10. which was a glorified country road. Some people were driving effing crazy. I cannot believe it's a one-lane highway in each no divider, and it's in certain parts 70 miles an hour. The lowest it dropped down was maybe like 50, 55, and people ride your ass out here. I don't ever want to hear that East Coast drivers are crazy. Out here, people get on the highway and immediately get up to 70, and it'll say 70, and they will ride your ass and go by at like 80, 85 miles an hour. It's kind of crazy. But I haven't washed the truck since I had it. The first stretch I didn't do it because I knew I was going to be on the highway. I mean, let's face it. But for the sake of keeping the clear coat looking good, I want to get all the tar and bugs off. And a quick, this is $10 and there's no, you know, people using dirty rags scratching up the paint. It's just all spray jets and foam. It smells pretty good. I think it's lavender. Probably should have turned off the truck, but considering how far I've been driving, I just want to leave it running, and then she'll have the whole night to rest. I really hope that water under the truck was from the air conditioning unit that was running earlier, and not from needing a new water pump. That would really suck. I have to say, I have never been in a car wash like this before. It's a giant arm that just keeps rotating around the car. So you don't drive through any of those like flapping things to like scrub the car. It's blowing it off, and it like sprayed wax on it and everything. Pretty cool. Whoa! This is Topeka. O'Reilly Auto Parts. So that over there is the Kansas National Guard, but there's also a combat museum over here, so I think that's it. But you can see some pretty giant planes out there.
Once you're west of Ohio, you really only have 3 options for radio, and that's the 3 C's: country, classic rock, and Christian conservative radio.
So here's our hotel.
Take the next left, then turn left.
I got it, baby. Calm down, Gina. We're here. Here I am, Topeka, Kansas. The bright and shining Super 8. Oh, really? It's a nice hotel. Better than I thought for, what is it, 2-star, 3-star? I went to the spa earlier today, and before I used, you know, the shower, I used my water shoes, because who knows how many people were in there. It was a roadside spa, and there were a lot of grimy looking truckers. So this little trick I got back in the day, track and field, you stick the bottom of your shoes in the vent. That's what keeps them from flipping over. Cooler's still going strong. So yeah, bagged ice stays longer. It has been 93 degrees today, and that was in the trunk the entire time. So the first half of the day, since we were driving west, the sun was pointed directly at the trunk, and it was hot. God, it was hot today. Yeah, really sad that it's leaking at the bottom. So the question is, do I, after this trip, take the time to seal the inside or just get a new one? I'm hoping it's just a couple pinpricks and I can just gloss over them with some sort of patch stuff, vinyl patch or something like that. And if I hadn't had the, God, it's hot in this room. Whew. If I hadn't had the trouble with the engine, I would definitely have gone and got that cooler from Big Bass Pro. So this is making me stop my spending.
This video is dedicated to Christine Thomas. Mrs. Thomas was my kindergarten mom, so she would come in for a couple hours every day to help out. Decades later, she always treated all of us kids like we were one of her own. She will be missed.